pepperoni pizza.
Actually, I wanted cheese.
Fine.
That was a perfectly good pizza pie. And now it is no longer a perfectly good pizza pie.
Did not reach in your pockets or pants. Now come towards my voice. Get up and come towards my voice. Drive off the vehicle.
What is up, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great morning, evening, night, whatever time you're watching this. And it's probably one of the rare times I've ever kind of really done like an actual live stream using StreamYard. So it's been a minute. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna be doing any sort of gaming today. Just covering a lot of gaming news because a lot of it's been coming out and it's rather interesting. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first piece of news that kind of came out that I want to talk about over the last couple of days was the new Game Plus mode for God of War Ragnarok. I mean, to be honest, I completely forgot that they were even attempting to do this or wanted to do this. I am kind of shocked that there wasn't more hype for it, but I think this is a really great addition to Ragnarok, and it also, increases its longevity. Not only does it, give you new Game Plus where you can use your gear and stuff, but expands the level cap and more. I mean, it's dope. I try to look up regarding this, like what the and more. There's a lot of performance buffs, graphical things, for PlayStation for some reason, because there's still some weird things with different gear pieces. I have no idea, but this is pretty much the main stuff. I don't know the main, like the highest level cap. I would have to check it out. I mean, I probably might do a video kind of going through it, but anyways, these are kind of they listen. So this person said, "Rest assured, we've been taking note of the request to add Kratos' cloak for the opening sequence since the launch of God of War Ragnarok. The armor of the Black Bear will keep Kratos bundled up against the flammable winter frost even after a sled chase. Its stats focus on strength and defense." Alright, so see, that's dope. I mean, if you've played the game, you know how dope that shit is. This is awesome. I mean, yeah, we're slowly going through here, and we're getting a ton of comments regarding the armor and stuff like that. So people are definitely hyped regarding that. That's dope. Yeah, but yeah, what is this? Oh, it's just a clip. Yeah, this is yeah, it's like the same reaction for literally everything. Everyone is just hyped about the cloak. In having that. So I think overall this is a massive improvement, a massive W in terms of that here. That's one of the things here. Let me switch, and also don't mind mind my profile pic. I mean, I can change it here. I just realized that's still on my memes, my shenanigans, but the dogs are going crazy because someone drove by, I think the mail, but alright. But anyways, with the next topic, this is kind of a more interesting topic, in terms of one of the biggest properties out there right now, and that is Call of Duty. Obviously, Call of Duty is a part of Activision Blizzard, and they are trying to be acquired by Microsoft, which PlayStation, who just talked about, is being petty about it, regards to many things. And we'll talk about some other things that they, probably don't want it to be out in a lawsuit, but it's stuff like this that kind of make it like, so why can't Xbox buy it when PlayStation's been getting all this exclusive shit that they really shouldn't, Real quick, Donovan says sucks. E3 is done, but it was gonna happen. I mean, true. It was kind of inevitable, but I know they have Summer's Game Fest or whatever replaced it. I mean, to be honest, I only watched E3 for reveals and gameplay for new games and updates for DLCs. It really that's all it was and all people wanted. I mean, and plus companies release all this shit on YouTube, Twitter, and that's where mainly people do it. And it's, you know, there's a lot regarding that, but that's kind of gonna be our second topic. Oh my lord, I can't speak today for some reason. Anyways, in terms of this, it is, come out with the Activision has also developed replay theater mode for internal use by Ricochet to analyze gameplay and recording for hackers. So, basically, the anti-cheat got an update. The anti-cheat for my computer will restart in 38 seconds. Why? At least my laptop will. So pretty much, I can always add in my second person here, which is hello. I could always do that, but it's no worries. I mean, I don't know why MacBook decides to update right now. Interesting to see what next PlayStation PC ports will be this year. I mean, I think that's another interesting thing to talk about in terms of that, because of everything regarding The Last of Us Part 1 port and how it's horrible for PC. I mean, obviously it's different studios that do it, and I don't know. I think Matt said something about it in terms of like they had some other game developer port it, but regardless, they like Miles Morales, Spider-Man, other games. I think Horizons on PC. I don't know. But those have been great. Those have been really, really good adaptions, and people have loved them. My friend has both Spider-Man games, and he loves them. He thinks that their performance is great and the graphics are amazing. Just this one, I have no clue. See, I knew it. So basically, because everything kind of decided to close and it wanted to restart. Yeah, the computer just magically wants to update now. But anyways, it's gonna take 4 minutes. All right, fine. Missed catching quantum gaming for a while. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really gone live like this in quite a long time, to be fairly honest. So that's its own thing. It takes a little bit getting used to and back into the swing of things, but that's not bad. I also had to switch different microphones. True. But I don't know if anyone's kind of aware of the situation regarding the update to the anti-cheat. But oh my goodness. See, this is what happens when I use a different mic. Hold on. I'm gonna try to plug in my Hypercast. I'm not using my gaming headset. This has an ass microphone. So give me a second. I'll play a meme in the background for a second. This is what happens when MacBook decides to update.
You have to drink after work every day.
You scared the fucking dog shit out of me, first of all. Alright, I won't drink. Let's talk about your day. What'd you do at work today?
I don't have a job, you know this.
How about that?
Fuck you!
I think one of my fans knows I work here.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the fuck?
smoke any art, then we hit it and pop up. You give me the drop on your spot on Morocco. If it just smoke, we pull up with Glocks.
All right. Those are horrible, horrible, horrible.
I think all sports should be gender neutral.
Yeah, I think so. The fact that they're separated perpetuates this idea.
Okay, no problem. You playing left tackle. It's 3rd and 17. Will Anderson's lined up nose to nose with you. He's getting paid to eat. Get back with me after that play. Roll Tide.
I don't know. I just realized I had all that stuff. That stuff is so funny as hell. All right, get back to it. We had a little bit of delay. It's all the MacBook's fault. But anyways, if you guys are not aware of this, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone have anti-cheat because cheating was a problem due to a company called Engine owning that gives aimbot, invisibility, other shit like that in Warzone and other competitive game modes within Call of Duty. And relatively, it hasn't been effective in terms of, stopping more pro players, regardless of how many times people can clip out and kind of suss them out. They just, and Activision doesn't, call them out or say anything as well. They completely act like, bro, I have no idea. Like, these guys are doing this? No. It's kind of like a joke. And there's people that call it shame and other people that take clips and call people out. But with this recent update, it can now detect users using controllers with Cronus software and Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. And funny enough, I'm fucking dying laughing because now all of a sudden, Aiden's retiring. A lot of people are moving back to Warzone 1. It's just like the people that have been called out for hacking for months, fucking years, are now saying they're either retiring or going back to the original one because they don't like the new one. Why is that? I to be honest, not only do their land gameplay kind of make up for that and show maybe they're not as good as they show on stream. I mean, Joe, has been. I mean, I called him out on TikTok. He's like the one where because I called him out for yeah, it's cool to see your performance on stream, but then at LAN, you still got dick. But he's like, I still won $5,000 basically. I'm like, yeah, cool, but you're called the movement king and you're dropping 20 kills a game, but yet you're getting dicked by a guy who dies from jumping out of the helicopter. What do you mean? There's legitimate people that have built up a community that are way bigger for Call of Duty, but then there's other people who've literally just built their whole channel around this competitive game mode. And it's like, wow, you're magically amazing. I mean, it's not only that, it's just watching LAN events, it's rather interesting. And they blame everything else but their own skill. And now with this, I think there's a little video that I saved, but here. So you can see Charlie Intel, who's obviously an Activision, all that content creator for Twitter and amongst other things, calling out Swag because, to be honest, oh yeah, dude, I'd love to see. There's multiple people I'd love to see just log on, but basically, I'll read this. Third-party hardware device detection. Since our previous progress report, Team Ricochet has developed and tested a detection for third-party hardware devices that alter the Call of Duty gameplay experience. These devices act as a pass-through for controllers on PC and console. When used improperly or maliciously, such as hacking, can provide a player with the ability to gain an unfair gameplay advantage, such as reducing or limiting recoil, such as strike packs and stuff like that. Testing is complete. This detection is deployed globally on all platforms. Users across PC or console who are detected to be using third-party hardware devices to impact Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2 gameplay experience will first see a warning about the proper use of devices. Screen below. Show that image. Continued improper use of these devices may lead to additional warning, the deployment of mitigation account or future suspensions, or the banning of the offensive account across Call of Duty titles. All titles, I'm guessing, per our security enforcement policy. We will continue to monitor this new detection's effectiveness and update our system again for. So finally, after a shit ton of time, they're finally doing this. Like, this is what we originally wanted. I mean, not only that with like engine owning on PC, but people using Cronus, strike packs, and other shit. And they're always making funny. Like, I mean, the comments are great. They're all like, they're all, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, it's the same fucking thing. You're using a Cronus, you're kind of hacking. You're abusing scripts and stuff in the game. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's technically not. I guess it's not really the same thing, but it's in the same realm. It's not. It's not good. Just don't fucking do it. But in terms of what they mean by the second screen, okay, cool. But this is what they're talking about. This is what you would see if you have a Cronus or something loaded in. They are not just gonna outright ban you. I don't think. I don't know if it's the same thing with BattleEye or what the fuck it is for PC, but pretty much, when you load the game or something like that, or it detects an unsupported device, it'll give you this warning. And obviously, if you continue using it, you're probably gonna get fucking banned. And it's good. I mean, they're finally enforcing it. They're like, hey, buddy, guess what? You keep doing this, you're gone. Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to bring up because I mean, as a person who's been playing Warzone and Call of Duty for better part of 10 plus years, hacking has never really been, or Call of Duty in general has never really been to the state that it is, where it's this massive global thing. Hundreds of people make like shit ton of money off of producing content revolving it, whether it's talking about different class builds, how to like your settings for the game. It's all very competitive in terms of that market, and it's very oversaturated. So everyone's trying to get their in with it, and a lot of content creators, who want to get better or get their content out there and make a lot of money off of Call of Duty content, potentially use engine owning or other sort of hacks to improve their gameplay unnaturally. And that's kind of like what they are like inadvertently going to do, and that's what has somewhat been done in terms of the cause and effect of this. And this is pretty much so I'm adding this real quick here. So it's funny. This is April 4th. I mean, this is March 27th. That's still, starting to fall. And honestly, I've seen so many clips of this guy's gameplay, and he's one of those guys that made a shit ton of money off of this. And he's also the same scumbag who refused to enter in a tournament because he had to download an additional anti-cheat on his computer. The stuff like that and this behavior just tells it all for me. And it just is like, no, I'm glad. Just maybe stay retired or go back to Warzone 1 with all the other people that now refuse to play the game. But pretty much that's it. But I have this video as well.
Third-party hard.
So here, I'll share this in a second. But this basically gives you a complete rundown of what's going on, and people are affected. But I just think it's hilarious, this situation. I'm glad that the rats or whatever the fucking people call them, or I just call them scumbags. It's like, dude, it's a fucking video game. It's either you're good or you're not. You can always continue to play better if you just still suck ass after a while. There's always Candy Crush, shit like that. Go to that. It's another Activision property. I'm sure they'll love to take your money as well.
Cronus Zen and Strike packs will now get you banned in Call of Duty.
How hack do you use
Cronus? Yeah. Today, an update went live for COD's anti-cheat that allows them to now detect third-party hardware in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0. Third-party devices that reduce recoil, add aim assist, and give players an unfair advantage can now be detected on PC and consoles. You'll get this warning first and continued use of the...
So there's that.
Cronus Zen and Strike packs will...
I think that's a really good informative video in terms of that. I really don't have anything else, but basically, just if you're gonna play something, play legit, you know. Especially, and I think it's, you know, it's a lot of things nowadays. People, you know, it's just, I mean, I don't know, really got nothing else to say besides just if you have one of these devices, I recommend not using it, or if you want to press your luck, go right ahead. But either way, this is a positive change for the community, bringing it back to what it was before, with, you know, most people hacking in terms of getting all the guns and shit, God mode events. I mean, hacking wasn't as bad back in the early days of COD, Black Ops, and stuff like that. It more or less was like fun stuff, not like people doing it to absolutely shit on you and stuff like that. But you know, it's just I oh man, good times here. But real quick, actually, I'm gonna keep this up because I'll just scroll because I saw this. Unreal Engine 5, like this is like Temple Run, but in Unreal Engine 5 kind of like this is dope. And Wildcat made a point like you can make any game look good by just having really great lighting. And I'm like, lighting is a very key feature in adding detail because with like very low lighting, you don't need to be as detailed in terms of like the bricks, the trees, the leaves, all that stuff. But if you have a lot of lightness, it increases the shadows. You have to add more detail to such as the bricks, the layout, the textures, the depth, sharpening, all this. Lighting is very, I guess, a key thing in making sure that details are added or not added. Pretty much, I think Unreal Engine 5 is now going to be a huge thing for gaming, but also for films as well. I don't know. I mean, especially for like more like like realistic animation projects. Like I know a lot of people have seen Love, Death, and Robots. I think they use something like that or something. But either way, I think it would be really dope if we start seeing more projects with giving a love like through animation using Unreal Engine 5. I know like I've been watching like, you know, the Star Wars of the Old Republic cinematics, which to be honest are fucking amazing, and they just keep getting better and better. Like they could make a whole saga using that technology and using like, you know, CGI and stuff like that. I would love it. I just hope that kind of stuff like using these applications are get more accepted and are used a little bit more. But then again, using like Unreal Engine 5 could also lighten the workload for some people. I know this kind of gets into the thing with AI, but I wanted to bring it up. I brought it up on another channel, stuff like that, in terms of AI. Oh, it was on Matt's channel. It was in regards to Mappa and Attack on Titan. I would have to Google that. I'll bring that up at the end, but that just reminds me here. So. Let's see if I can find a video. Trying to see if this is it. No, this is a reaction to it. Here, I mean, I pretty much have this. Here, let me reshare my screen here. Go to YouTube. So I just found this. This is kind of like
rigging. That's
So, but I'm gonna just mute this because I mean, so, but just based on like what you're gonna see here in terms of it, like all the stuff they have to do, using AI would be incredible process for these people, especially doing such a massive task. You know, like just look at the way like they you know people like got so pissy when the new special came out and they realized they had to wait another 6 months for the next part, and they just want it right away. And I'm just like, tell me these people don't look absolutely fucking exhausted. I mean, they just sit at the desk, get shit done, and draw. Like I don't blink. Like this man looks like he's been through the ringer. This is like the main person I'm talking about. Like this person needs a raise. Holy shit! Like they draw, like dude, and they did such amazing work, such amazing work. But the thing is, that like really pissed me off in terms of the reaction to people is they had the audacity to constantly complain about fucking lighting and shit like that for transformations and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like look, this man looks like he has the biggest fucking, circles under his eyes. Like that's kind of what I wanted to bring up real quick is like maybe like people keep bringing up AI like it's a negative thing in terms of art and stuff like that, but it also could provide some benefit in terms of people in the anime industry as well, help create or even create concept drawings and stuff like that. But regardless,
Here we go. So this is video talking about the end game of Diablo 4.
Why is it sharing this now? Lord, it's very unprofessional today. This is what happens when you decide to use StreamYard for the first time in like a million years. I saw this entire situation. Dope. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what most companies do at this point. They have their own sort of event that they do, showcase or a now then or whatever. It's pretty much what they do. They do their own thing, and people who follow the platforms they go along with it. But yeah, but late woke. It very much has. Yeah, and it's dope. There have been a lot of great creations in terms of that, and I absolutely love it. But before we move on to our big topic here, I wanted to bring up the thing that came out today in terms of season 3 of Warzone and Modern Warfare 2. Now, this is some massive shit. This is a lot of people pissed off from what I could see, at least on Twitter. But then again, who isn't triggered and goes on YouTube? I mean, sorry, Twitter. Twitter's like a cesspool of just degeneracy, negativity in terms of people reacting to shit. It's fun. It's fun. So pretty much here, let me reshare this here. If I could find it. So this is the brand new update that came out today and has been confirmed by Call of Duty. Black Sail's a brand new Battle Pass upgrade. It costs $30. It includes a variety of bonus content. So not only does this replace the bundle, the bonus Battle Pass bundle, which would cost like $2,400, stuff like that, where you get 20 extra tier skips out of the 100. So you get 20 free tier skips out of, the 100. But now they're removing that and they're making it so you have to pay $30 if you want more than just the base Battle Pass to grind. I'm gonna click on this. So as a part of the $29.99 MSRP offering, Black Sail will include over 7,000 COD points of value. Everything that was originally in the Battle Pass bundle, along with additional exclusive content. Here's what to expect. And what do you see at the very, very top of the thing? PlayStation getting 5 more tier skips than everyone else, and yet everyone else is paying the same thing. They're paying the same thing, but yet PlayStation gets more. And yep. So, and this is like the top comment so far. PlayStation gets 25, almost like an unfair thing to do when exclusively holding a title. Almost like, they act like they're not doing and trying to convince the board why. It's like, dude, you've been, ever since you got this deal, you have screwed over every single other platform. And I just don't like the exclusivity. I mean, I get it. It promotes your console and your platform, but it screws over the rest of the player base, especially when it's a game that's cross-platform like this. It's just kind of a dick thing to do. And it's like, I think it's because PlayStation got +5 with the previous Battle Pass bundle. They have to give them 5 extra for this one too. So confirming I mean, I played season 2. I just never paid attention to that. So yeah, they get extra 5 tiers, which are like 500 COD points in reference to $5. So pretty much they get $5 extra in terms of tier skips when everyone else gets 20. It's kind of trash. You get 1,100 COD points instantly awarded, up to 1,400 COD points awarded throughout the Battle Pass. You get that. So you only get, so basically you're spending $30 to get 2,400 or 2,500 points, COD points, through the tier skip, through the tiers. But it's 7,000 COD points worth of value. So, because you also get the Black Cell Operator attire in an opposing animated camel skin, interesting, a protein weapon blueprint, vehicle skins, and finishing move. An exclusive Black Cell sector within the Battle Pass AOS serves as an alternative starting point. Immediate unlock of adjacent Battle Pass sectors to the Black Cell sector. Additional Black Cell only Battle Pass content. Every Season 3 Battle Pass sector with an opera skin has a Black Cell variant, 12 skins in total to unlock. So pretty much, you want to get all these different cosmetics, all this stuff, go right ahead. I know they haven't really made it so in order to get the new weapons, you have to buy the Battle Pass. They make it comes free with the Battle Pass, which is great, except, the way I not 100% sure, but it's like you have to go through different sectors, and usually they have them at the start. Sometimes they don't, but it could cause a little issue. But it's like $30 for an additional for a premium battle pass. It's kind of ridiculous. And the argument here is like people have been complaining about Warzone 2, constantly removing playlists that people love to play and that are always active, and getting rid of them just to add them in next fucking week. But yet they have time for this. There's been a lot of errors, a lot of issues with the game, and people and Activision, same thing with Blizzard. They do the same shit. They care more, with Diablo Immortal. They would rather include another thing where they can make money off of you while still giving you quote unquote value. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. This is absolutely fucking stupid. It's just, but I found this funny meme, from somebody in the comments, because it's like, I just don't understand. Oh man, like I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not gonna buy it, of course, because fuck that. Why am I gonna pay $30 for a fucking battle pass that's gonna give me cosmetics? And this is a fair point. DLCs back in the day for Call of Duty were fucking great. Now the DLCs are free, but now they have battle passes. For $15, you get all these different things. All these great, amazing DLCs. And if you want this new weapon, gotta buy it. I mean, it's not. I mean, in terms of Call of Duty, knowing Activision kind of would be pay to win, because all the new weapons they drop now are just extremely broken, promoting people to get the battle pass or play the game more, get their activity up. And I think that's like at this point, every single season for the past couple games, every time a brand new weapon comes out or a brand new game comes out and it's implemented into Warzone or new weapon, regardless, anything new, basically is overpowered, OP, and everyone's saying to use it. And more times out of, you have to grind, play the game, get the battle pass to traverse through it and get it. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm just my point here is, I just wish that they would actually focus on the consumer rather than do stuff like this, that have really no value. Because if you think about it, if they ever do Warzone 3, which I would not be surprised, all the cosmetics that you're going to spend $30 for, never going to carry over. And that's what pissed a lot of people off. Warzone stuff, Warzone cosmetics are not transferring over to the new game, or Warzone 2, as you probably know. So it kind of like kills the purpose. Like, why do this if it's not going to transfer over in like what 4 years? I mean, it just kind of kills the argument here. All right, I think that is it. That is it for that. So let me reshare. So now in terms of 3, let's get to the main one, because then I just have Diablo stuff after that. So basically, E3 has been canceled. I pulled up this article from IGN covering it, as it pretty much, I think a lot of it is just the summary of it. Fucking COVID killed E3. It really killed it. My dogs are going crazy again. They hear a truck and they go crazy. And this is how a lot of people are involving E3 being canceled. I mean, either I just seen some people, be sad about it, like, damn, I liked E3, but other people are like, no, we could live without it. We have other things to look forward to. So I'll just read through the article here. So 2 sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today. The email said that while E3 remains a beloved event and brand, that the 2023 version Sony did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry, which a lot of it stemmed from COVID-19. And as it says here, the event was supposed to be held from June 13th through June 16th at the LA Convention Center and would have been the first in-person E3 event since 2019. The event was canceled in 2020 due to COVID-19, and while a digital version was held in 2021, the event was canceled again in 2022 in an effort to focus on revitalized showcase that would set a new standard for hybrid industry events. Yet, like this next article says, that news comes from as big names in the industry from Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. More recently, Ubisoft announced that it would be not attending E3 in any capacity, with most opting to host its own digital showcase, which again leads back to the reason why E3 is canceled. The pandemic really killed it, because the last in-person was 19, COVID was in 2020, and since then it struggled. It killed E3, and all these individual companies are like, we have our own platform, we have our own stages, we have our own events that we could do, and they're doing it, and they're actually very, very well done. I know Ubisoft has theirs this summer. Xbox has theirs frequently. I think they had one not too long ago. PlayStation, Nintendo, obviously they all have it. People know about that already. If you haven't, check those out. They have them relatively all around. But basically, that's basically E3 stuff here. I mean, but yeah, I can read some of these comments. Said because E3 was always such an exciting event, but technology has changed and companies can more easily stream their own content much more cheaply and on their own schedule. Exactly. So rather than, making this whole PR, do the stuff with E3, they could do it on their own. So this could not only is a benefit, but also, as a con with it. Because it's not like this big spectacle, big event anymore for gamers to celebrate gaming and industry and new technology. It's more or less just, hey, go on YouTube and watch the stream and comment with your Cheeto fingers, basically. That's kind of it for that. I mean, it's really, really sad. But, on the bright side, we have other things in the works here. I'm trying to clear these damn tabs. All right. So pretty much, I just have to find a Diablo video because they released a new Endgame video content regarding. Here it is. It's a couple minutes long, or 6 minutes long here. I'm gonna go through here and we're gonna listen and comment about it. I heard a lot of criticism already regarding this, but mostly it's due to some of the it's more or less kind of hypocrisy in terms of the fans, from what I could tell here of what some of the things that they're shitting on. So here it is.
We're really excited about getting this game into players' hands and letting them experience this massive world.
A main cornerstone of D4 is play your way. As a player continues to advance through the story and into the endgame, they'll unlock a ton of brand new activities that provide meaningful progression, no matter their playstyle.
Players will be able to keep progressing in the narrative of the game. Alongside that, the whole team has worked on crafting a variety of different experiences players can pursue.
We're going to have an entire world of Sanctuary for our players to offer. There's going to never be an absence of something to do.
After the player has finished the campaign, there's a lot more game to go and participate in. They gain access to a special, what we call capstone dungeon that they have to complete. Once they're able to finish this capstone dungeon, they're going to gain access to the first world tier.
As you complete the world tier, it will open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world tier. That involves unlocking powerful loot, new items, and more advantages for your player to have a better opportunity at end game.
Wait a minute.
Whether you're a fan of...
Hold up. Wait
it
a
will
minute.
open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world.
Hold up. Okay, I'm simply what I'm guessing is that this is not, always the case. I'm guessing what they're basically saying is like, yeah, you can either choose, like kind of an adventure, like obviously who are new to the game, or choose veteran. Veteran's solid. I mean, I've been playing through Diablo 3. I just beat the base game with my wizard. I had it in hard mode. I'm like level 56 and I beat the game. I don't, because I was such a high level by the time I got to the end of the game, every single boss, every single enemy was easy. Now I'm just starting Reaper Souls and it's getting a little bit more spicy. But man, I'm gonna have to cover some of those cinematics when we get closer to Diablo and explain the story. Because obviously, like you wouldn't think that Diablo has such an extensive and wide story, but it does, spanning from the first all the way to the fourth. Kind of curious about how this one ties into the other ones. To be honest, that's something that I still haven't grasped or understood, or it's been explained properly in a video that I've seen. But 1 through 3 and Reaper Souls all connect 100%. But I'm guessing what they mean by this, and I hope they mean by this, is that at the very start of the game, you can choose between adventure or veteran, and as you go through and progress through these world tiers, you have the opportunity for you to go to the next world tier, aka Nightmare, and then Torment. If I have to play through the game and all that stuff in World Tier 1, and then go so I can play at hard difficulty and stuff like that, I mean, that's kind of, it's not going to make a lot of people happy. I mean, it's another thing to keep people active and wanting to play the game more, to play at hard difficulties. But, it doesn't make, just...
That involves unlocking powerful loot, new items, and more advantages for your player to have a better opportunity at end game.
Whether you're a fan of dungeons, PvP, or just roaming around the world, there's a way to continue your Diablo adventure long after hitting max level.
And I think that's an important concept to have, is you need to have a various amount of different ways of content, different, variability with the dungeons, enemies, and a variety of different loot and stuff that to gain. Obviously, there's a Paragon system, which we'll explain in just a moment. But I think kind of one of the things that I find important after. I think the capstone dungeons, what they're talking about, was like the replacement for rifts. Because I don't know. I have to gotta do a lot more research than what I'm doing right now. But I'm pretty sure, like in terms of rifts, might be the capstone. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting question. It's like I magically think of all these questions right as I just start streaming and talk about these topics. But I feel like, Diablo and Immortal have made a lot of money, or like Diablo and Immortal made a lot of money with PvP and like the battlegrounds. I would not be surprised if they bring that back. But obviously not make it so there's like whales and minnows and shit like that where you can pay to win. I think if they made Diablo 4 pay to win, it would kill the game 100%. It would piss off the majority of the fan base and kill the game. But because, Activision and Blizzard are constantly getting more and more, obvious their greed, I would not be surprised. But I would love things like rifts, other like crazy dungeons to do and stuff like that. I just hope, at least from the beta, a lot of the stuff was repetitive. But then again, you're only experiencing a part of the map. But I just can't wait. I just want to hear more about the potential nerfs and adjusting for the characters. I think talking about that, especially in terms of the druid, the barbarian, as well as nerfing the necromancer, would be beneficial to tell the players, because I've heard something that they're tweaking it and the druid's getting a buff. I mean, I saw many things regarding the Paragon system where it's like plus 17 strength compared to plus 5. But basically, they need to like make one of these into the end game, another one of these into the end game videos covering the adjustments and the changes they're making to each of the characters you're able to pick. Because a lot of the discussion from the beta was the strength and weaknesses of each of the different characters, depending on the builds you make and just overall the character. The Druid was overall the weakest character you could pick, no matter what skills, no matter what changes you did, no matter the gear, it was relatively the weakest. And the Necromancer was overpowered compared. I only played the Barbarian and Necromancer. The Barbarian I had a little bit of issues with, which I think they could buff them a little bit. The Necromancer was a little overpowered. I don't think I had a really big issue at all with the Necromancer at all, except that, they could maybe tone it down a little bit. But, it is what it is. But I did complete the world event within the beta with my Barbarian. I think I only died a couple times. We had a really good group of people who did it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of health and running. It was a lot of fun. I've never participated in an event like that. And it was really awesome to do an experience, especially in the beta. And of course, for me, the next world event was like late at night, so I stayed up, waited a long time for the event, and I'm like, all right, got my Barbarian, let's fucking go. That's basically kind of what went down that. Let's continue this.
As your character continues to grow in power, you'll start with the skill tree and expand out.
So yeah, I mean that's nuts. But I'm trying to think of, I don't know whose skill tree this is, but I really love the skill tree with Diablo 4. After playing Diablo 3 a bunch recently again, I really appreciate what they have done here in finalizing the skill tree, because it allows for more customization and overall shape your character better, and it's way more extensive and more thought out. I definitely think this is a huge plus for this
out into the Paragon system.
A lot of the choices the players make are grounded on skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills.
So the Paragon board will allow you to have more depth in terms of that. And obviously, this looks like a lot like Path of Exiles in terms of that, where it's very extensive. Based on these icons and what they do, I'm guessing you're able to progress through the different Paragon boards to increase your strength, intelligence, willpower, and dexterity, most likely by 5, as I've seen the meme constantly. And I've seen people complain about that for some reason. I'm like, but it's the same people who play Path of Exile and stuff like that. It's the same concept. They are just doing, like, the community MMO standard. This is very standard, and they're going along with it and continuing that chain. Why is it a problem when Blizzard does it? Pretty much. I mean, Blizzard is not perfect, but also, this is very typical. I mean, I don't understand huge issue
Worst
with
place
this.
where we have a lot.
You like +5 intelligence, and you get to obviously legendary nodes, and you get more special abilities. It's the same thing as all the other games. Path of Exile does this beautifully. This looks as well.
More depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go.
You can rotate the board, so you can choose a different path. If you're like, I want to do more strength-based things, or I want these particular boons or glyphs, you can chart your path through it, and they're really a way for you to keep expanding your character and making it uniquely yours.
Similar to the Paragon boards is the Codex of Power. It's an in-game system that holds the aspects related to the character. You are able to complete a dungeon, and they will have a chance to drop an aspect that you can pick up.
And what this allows players to do is take items they're finding in the world and make them more powerful, turn them into legendary items.
It's really special to discover what kind of playstyle really means the most to you.
All I gotta say is they're really hammering in the customization aspect of this game, and I love it. And I know many of you have already seen stuff related to Jedi Survivor in terms of that customization, in terms of the hair, the clothing, and also BB-8. I believe that's the name. Don't quote me on that. But Jedi Survivor also looks like an amazing game that has some of the similar things related to others done. A lot. I would just say a lot of the games come out recently in open world, single player or MMO games. They all have very similar aspects in terms of what they offer.
Every part of Sanctuary is fulfilling and satisfying. Dungeons in particular are really close to my heart. Nightmare Dungeons are going to give the players the opportunity to experience a dungeon that they might have already experienced in their past playthroughs. They'll enter the dungeon with a found sigil that alters the playstyle and the intensity of the dungeon.
They're more difficult, and they have additional objectives, and then they also have affixes, which add a degree of difficulty for you and your group to work through.
Okay, that is awesome that they added this detail, because I was like, dude, I know there's like 100-something dungeons, but I'm gonna go through them all with each of the characters, and I'm like, I have to do the same thing, multiple different times with different builds. I am gonna get bored, and this offers more variety. It's just, again, more customization to the game, allowing for brand new different game experiences. Well, relatively.
One of my favorite affixes that you can find in Nightmare Dungeons is actually called Hellgate. Occasionally, these portals will open up throughout the area that will just pour out different monsters that aren't native to that region for you to also be dealing with while you're trying to handle everything else inside the dungeon. There's over 120 dungeons to play through and find in Diablo 4, and any one of them can become a Nightmare Dungeon by finding a Nightmare Sigil and then using it to activate the Nightmare version of that dungeon space.
Everything's a little darker, everything's more difficult. It's going to add a little bit of a twist of flavor on your particular dungeon.
There's some targeted activities in Diablo 4 that suit what you're feeling in the mood for.
The Forces of Hell are starting to have more influence in certain parts of Sanctuary in the vast interconnected overworld of the experience. And as the players are going into Helltide areas, you're going to find even more powerful monsters. And by killing them, they'll be able to gain these special shards they can take to go and use to purchase these big rewards are available at these caches that are found littered throughout Helltide areas.
The sky darkens and the rivers run red, meteors fall from the sky, and the monsters get harder. We really want to create new experiences for the players. There's one I really like called Whispers of the Dead, which you get from the Tree of Whispers. The Tree of Whispers is grim and a little gruesome, but it's also something mystically haunting and kind of beautiful.
The tree has a little bit of a grudge against our players, and it would like for them to go serve its needs. So you're going to go serve these bounties, gather different rewards. You'd like for them to go serve.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand this because I watched like the first like minute of this, but I haven't seen anything else here. So interesting.
Needs. So you're going to go serve these bounties, gather different
Items and bring them back to the tree. That's okay. So again, it's like, besides just doing dungeons and quests, you can also do bounties such as this.
rewards, different items, and bring them back to the tree in hopes that it can exchange you something really meaningful.
Maybe you're going to go to the Fractured Peaks and take out some werewolves that are rampaging in the town. They're contained activities that you can do alone or in a group. We really wanted to create variety for people to be able to spend time where they wanted to in the world. It's very cool the way it's been put together, and I can't wait for people to see it, to be honest.
In Diablo 4, we have a focus on the world of Sanctuary. And there are parts of that world that we call the Fields of Hatred, where Lilith's presence in Sanctuary has begun to seep through and manifest these poisonous areas throughout the world. When players go to these regions, they get to engage in player versus player conflict.
These offer opportunities for the player to collect shards. But there is a little bit of a catch. In order to get these shards back to town, you will need to purify them. Other players will definitely know that you're attempting to purify your shards, so you better be prepared to fight if you're going to be playing any PvP, and be prepared that you might lose some stuff in the meantime.
Once they've got the purified shards, they can take these, go back to nearby towns to sell them, and then use that to buy a whole bunch of interesting cosmetic items and rewards.
It's a place for people who really love PvP and want to still get loot and still increase their character's power. If that's the way they want to play, they can.
Launch is just the beginning. One of the things we're really focused on is creating a living, breathing set of updates for players to engage with after the game has gone live.
It's really just going to be a way to keep coming back and experiencing more Diablo 4 in fresh ways.
We're really eager to hear all of your experiences and just enjoy the entire story with you all.
And I'm 100% excited for this game to come out. Especially after this. I mean, I'm trying to see what the other criticism is. I might make a part 2 regarding this, but I've seen people react negatively through this, and I'm trying to figure out how. Because from my perspective, there's just so much different options for you to play the game. You have the Paragon system, base system. You got Nightmare and Dungeons. You have all these different things to do, no matter what play style, no matter what you want to do. And they really hammer home playing with friends and kind of community, stuff like that, which I think is dope. I hope that they definitely kind of do another one of these before the game comes out in a couple months. I think it's June 6th. So we got all this month, got all of May, and then June 6th. But I think it comes out the 1st or 2nd. Actually, yeah, I don't fucking know. I know if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you get 4 days early access. So, relatively, yeah. But I think that is it. That's all I had. It's like, should I play a game or should I just do Stream and Hammer and get this all through? Yeah, StreamYard has been kind of a struggle. Forgot how to use StreamYard rather than just simply joining and starting cam. I actually had to do the producer shit. But, it's dope. I definitely would do these more often. There just needs to be more topics or stuff that people want to talk about. Just obviously put down stuff in the comments of what I should, look into or talk about. Anything related to gaming, 100%. Anyways, that'll be it. Have a great morning, evening, night, whatever time you watch this. And peace.
host. Ba 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 boo. Ba 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 boo. Ba 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 boo.